Welcome everyone to 302 of a kind. Sorry for the long ticker. I just phased it in way too late. Sorry about that. We were just in an engaging discussion right now. We were quarreling about if it's good to buy links. No, I'm just joking. Yes, we're your hosts. I'm Marcus, and this is Kevin. Kevin, thanks so much for making it again. And welcome everybody out there for 302 of a kind.
It is so good to see you, by the way, Marcus. We're steering towards the holidays.
Yes.
I don't know how you feel about your work, but for me, next week is the last week of the year, and then it's done. And every year it blows my mind. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm actually going to be still in the office on the first 2 days, the 22nd and the 23rd. I actually still have a workshop on one of those days. So I have 3 workshops next week and 1 workshop the day after this. So it's really going to be like Christmas, and then I'm off. But up until then, I'm still up in the data, and yeah, loving it.
Germans are not messing around.
No, we're not messing around. We're not messing around. No, but I feel the same. I mean, like it's approaching. Obviously, with the kids here, it's always a special time of the year. So I think it's absolutely bearable because there's a silver lining on the horizon. It's all good. And also, I like finishing up all the projects we've been doing for our customers, and so it's a much better feeling when you go into a little bit of Christmas vacation.
Yes.
Right on. So I would say let's start right with the news, since we gave you such a long ticker that you have to bear through. First of all, a quick shout out. Happy birthday, Search Engine Land. Holy shit.
Man.
Just last week, we were celebrating Barry for his astonishing, I think it was 22 years covering the search industry. And now we're coming out of Search Engine Land, celebrating the 19th birthday. And again, this makes me feel really old because, just like last time, I exactly remember when Search Engine Land started. Because, I mean, this was this pivotal moment when Denny Sullivan actually stepped down from SES. This was also the first year, 2006, when he was actually the keynote speaker at PopCon. So, I mean, like before, right? And it was always Search Engine Strategies and PopCon, basically like going head to head. And then Denny Sullivan left Search Engine Strategies and was the keynote speaker at PopCon. And then, he went about founding Search Engine Land, Third Door Media, the whole shebang, and obviously also the SMX franchise, which basically dwarfed the SES franchise in the following years. Also, it was really sort of like the start of this, where you had like so many conferences, right? Also, it was like back in the days, it was only Search Engine Strategies, and I remember like 6,000 people in New York, right? Which is just astonishing. There was three not Ebenen, also layers, levels, 3 levels in the hotel, basically as a conference floor and also like a Messefläche.
The fair, the trade.
Yeah, also like lots of booths and everything. And this is still back then when the Mexico here in Germany was just, I don't know, like really, really small. So you go to the US and you have like, I don't know, like 300, 400 different vendors at that conference. So it was huge. And I think this really kicked off this, oh, I'm also going to do a conference, look at this is booming, right? And this really set it off, and not just with SMX, but also in Germany. We had lots of conferences coming up. It was like the start. It might have throughout the next years, obviously. But this was really a pivotal moment, I think, in the industry. And so I vividly remember when Search Engine Land started, and now I'm being reminded, oh my God, this has already been 19 years. It's like, yeah, I'm getting old, man.
It's brutal. It's brutal, man. But the question is, like, now with AI and the rise of all, these, like, this new industry, maybe, do you think we'll go like will there be like a revival of that dimension of conference and booths? Like, will we go to an AI search conference with 400 booths and 6,000 people, or do you think?
No, I don't think so. I mean, first of all, I think I mean, like we always want to do the clear distinction between SEO and GEO, whatever kind of thing. But in the end, it's always the SEO doing the job, right? So I haven't seen anybody else coming out of the, like trenches and saying like, oh no, I'm doing this, right? It's always the SEO taking over. And I think, as you see with all the big SEO conferences right now, this is on everybody's agenda, right? As the agenda is full with AI kind of stuff. So I think it's just shifting here, but nobody's really like jumping in and say, okay, we need a new conference format for these AI kind of things. I don't know. Also, I don't think that's happening. We've sort of played this through, and now, yeah, I mean, it's just a rejuvenation of our conference agendas.
Yes.
How I would say it. Yeah. But okay, let's skip over me being old and jump right to the meat, because there's a big news. Oh, by the way, jumping in, Dennis is jumping in. Hello. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. My friend Dennis Rodderber, one of the best and brightest here live at Three of a Kind. Thanks so much for making it. That's awesome. And there was a huge news this week. It was actually yesterday. And core update. It's core update time again. Doo-doo.
Hey.
Yeah, put your hands in the air. I remember there was this event in Zurich. There were lots of our friends have been to Zurich for the Google Search Central live events, always great events. And it was always, it was again, very cool. Lots of people told me great stories, and I really had a serious FOMO. And there was John Moo talking about, yeah, there might be a core update. There might not be a core update. Could be before the holidays, could be after the holidays. And I don't know. I was like, oh, something's up, right? Also, I didn't really think, okay, it's going to be like the next day. But yeah, as it was, something was smelling fishy, and I thought something was up. So yeah, now we get proof. Core update is on the way. Obviously, I don't think we can talk a lot about it, because I mean, like, you're probably gonna need like 2 weeks before you can like really see something. But yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Online Donkey Kong.
What are your feelings?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty clear that Google would release another one sometime this year. I'm surprised it was that late. I expected it sooner, and maybe October.
Before, actually, like everybody's like buying stuff, right? As this was way before. So yeah, I think a lot of people have already bought their presents.
Yes, here's another one. No, but in all seriousness, Google usually, like if you look at the last couple of years, there's an average amount of core updates that Google rolls out. Google was short, I think, at least 2, maybe 3. Yeah. So this year is a bit lighter on the core update side. But the big question to me is, how much does it still matter? And I'm saying that because we're obviously moving to this AI world. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying organic ranks are not valuable anymore. I think the opposite is the case. They still matter for.
You don't need them anymore. I take them. I'm happily taking them.
No.
You just redirect, 301 redirect all your traffic wherever. If you don't need it anymore, you just want to play with AI, just give it to me. I'm fine with that, right?
I'll still take them, because I found in my user behavior studies that people still click through organic search results, classic search results, when they want to buy something, right? But they do a lot of the evaluation before then with AI overviews and all the other kind of stuff. And yet still, like, I think I'm saying that because we're, for example, Gemini 3 rolled out an AI mode, right? And so you start to wonder, okay, what has the bigger impact? Is it Gemini 3 maybe in AI overviews and they're getting better and they're taking away even more clicks? Or is it the organic search results? And also, how much has changed, right? Every core update is slightly different. Some core updates have a better understanding of user intent. Other core updates they reward certain quality factors, like maybe, I don't know, just as a hypothetical, maybe citing your sources, or maybe a certain length and depth of content, right? So every core update is also slightly different. But for this one, I don't have enough data yet to really make a statement. I'll just defer to my default statement, which is that, of course, all of my clients are up.
All your clients are up, of course. Why wouldn't they? By the way, let me put in a summer sensor real quick to see what's going on. So we definitely see that a little bit of heat going on here, lots of red, so lots of stuff happening. Yeah, but I think I would expect this to be a little bit more tumultuous in the next couple of days and weeks. So yeah, stay tuned. But I'm with you here. I'm totally with you. Right? It's not like before, like with all the different updates. It's like, oh yeah, core, something happens. Let's see what happens, right? But it's probably not going to make a big dent. By the way, we got to say hi to Roy. I mean, this is so funny. So I'm in the wrong chat, I guess. Where's Dennis hanging out? And you can see, so Dennis was on Facebook, Roy was on YouTube, and now Roy's now also on Facebook. Here's all the cool people. So well done. So I guess Facebook is all where the cool people are. I haven't heard that sentence in a long time. Yeah, and definitely not from my kids. But yeah, glad you enjoyed. But Roy, thanks so much for being here. It's awesome that you're here. All right, so we're going to keep you posted with the core update. Obviously, we're going to revisit it next week. Let's see if we can already see something. And obviously, when we come back from Christmas break.
One more thing before we jump on. Sorry to interrupt. I just forgot. Search Console data is not updated.
Yes,
so
horrible.
What's going on there? Releasing a core update, and then we cannot evaluate the thing. I got Search Console data up until December 9th.
Yeah.
So... come on.
Yeah, something's brewing. Something's brewing. I don't know. I hate it. We're not getting the data, and it's sort of like this. I don't know. This is not the data you're looking for. We're just releasing the core. Just go to Christmas break. It's all good. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like with the content publishers. It is like, that's not your problem. It's our problem. We're gonna take care of it. While we're doing this, you should do something else. All right. So yeah, whoever wants to join Facebook, welcome in the room with the cool kids. Yay. Right on. So our next focus topic, I think this is going to be a little bit more easy for you because you actually wrote about it. Last week we talked about your predictions for next year, which I thought were quite interesting. Had a good discussion about it. And we already touched about your 22-25 predictions, and now we really want to score them. So maybe we're going to go through one by one and tell me a little about how you think you did with
totally, man, totally. And by the way, next year I'm going to send it out in the reverse order, where first I score my predictions of the year and then I send out my new ones. So little wrong way this year. Anyway, so first one, I was pretty bullish on agentic LLM models. Specifically models that will perform action for you, like buying a product or booking a table or something like that. Because you could argue that deep research is an AI agent. I thought that by now we would have reached 100 million users that are using AI agents, but I think we're still far away from that. And I overestimated how good these agents might be by now, because the reality is a lot of agents, autonomous agents, are just not that good yet. So this is a miss. And as it happens sometimes, the prediction comes a little too early. So will I think that this prediction comes true next year? Somewhat. I think we're going to see a lot stronger agents, a lot better autonomous agents. But if it's going to reach 100 million users, I'm not sure. So I'll take the miss here.
Right on.
Next, AI victims. I think this is a hit.
Yeah.
So we heard a lot of noise about Chegg this year, a homework helper site that lost like 99% of their stock value and I think enterprise value too. But then there were a couple of others, like translation services. There are a bunch of them, like RWS Holdings, that are very clearly falling out of the clouds, really struggling. And then there are others like Concentrix, where like they're also clearly seeing the impact of AI. So anything that is like basic like services that where we needed a human to translate something or do some legwork, these kind of companies are seeing a hit. And so I think I was right that we're seeing more AI victims this year, and I do expect that to stretch into next year for sure.
But I think this was the easy one, right? This was the easy prediction. I mean, like, right? Like
it was. Okay. I think yes, especially if the first prediction came true, right? So these predictions are all somewhat intertwined. And so if you are bullish on AI and you say AI is coming for our jobs, blah, 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 right? Then this makes a lot of sense. But if you're saying, oh, I don't believe that AI will replace us, right? Then so why should we see more companies failing at AI, right? I think this is a little bit of the interesting nuance here.
Good point. All right. AI automation becomes the default for marketing teams.
Yes. So
it is, but they don't say it, right? And the team is not really a team anymore. Could that be?
It could be. It could be. Absolutely. No, we're seeing some reports, some surveys that are validating this with data. But also, look, like, of course, you'll find companies that have not adopted AI yet in marketing. But marketing is one of the primary use cases for AI in a lot of cases. I know a bunch of companies, of course, like more Silicon Valley type of companies that are building crazy automation workflows, and they're doing like really cool work. But when you look at, you can look at lots of different reports, even not just about marketing overall, but maybe content creation or SEO, or even paid marketing or advertising. These companies, they all use AI, and we're seeing more and more AI automation, where it's not just you throw something into ChatGPT or so, but you actually use platforms like Make or like N8N or AirOps or others to string together different tasks with AI in the middle to get some stuff done. A good example is just today, still 2025, Profound released their workflows, their AI workflows, right? So the trend is pushing hard into that direction. And I would say if you are not experimenting with these yet, it's a really good time.
Absolutely. And congratulations for Profound to finally releasing AI workflows. SEMrush already has them for a long time. just putting that out there.
Shots fired.
I'm not. It's all good. No, it's all good. Wait. Oh, I was just like thrown off when you said N8N. I like regarding that prediction. I mean, like I see like the N8N bros on LinkedIn, with all the automations and stuff like this. But you were clearly talking about something else, right?
Yeah. I was. I mean, look, like I hate the N8N bros. I think it's terrible. I fell for it once. I once commented on a LinkedIn post, and I never got my workflow. I never got my workflow.
Really?
Guess it was all a hoax. Yeah,
Wow.
I know. Disappointing.
What kind of workflow was it?
Remember, man. I think it was. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up, but it was very disappointing. It was very disappointing. I usually have a strong.
I'm not going to comment on your LinkedIn post. Send me the workflow. It's
so bad, man. It's so bad. It's so cringe, and so many people are doing it, and I don't know. I'm
it
not
works.
Here for it.
It works, and they don't work. I mean, they just they just shut it out, and it's like just a LinkedIn game. By the way, Dennis is saying more and more automation is built into platforms. Without knowing, you will use automation. And I mean, like, and you made one of the strongest points before that also, like, the deep thinking is sort of an agent, because that's what you're doing, right? You're saying, hey, please, evaluate this niche, whatever. This is basically saying, hey, agent, do something for me. So I think the edges, the lines have been blurry here. And as Dennis says, also valid point, right? I mean, like, you use an automation within Google Docs or whatever. You're using basically an agent, but it's since it's baked in the platform, it's not really that clear. Okay.
Totally.
AI overviews evolve. Oh yeah, hell they did. Also, well, like AI overviews, but yeah, you tell me.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So I think you can interpret this in a couple of different ways. One of them is just that they rolled out broader, right? Yeah. But the other one is that their format changed. For example, they're citing a lot more videos. They're experimenting more with inline links instead of these sidebar citations. And I think what is the biggest signpost for me is WebGuide. I don't know how your results look, Marcus, but I'm opted into SGE, and my search results have been WebGuide only for the last 4 weeks, I think. And so Google just published an article saying that they're going to roll WebGuide out even more, and they're making some changes to AI overviews. So I think this is a hit.
Yeah, definitely. Reddit becomes part of the default channel mix. That's easy prediction, I'd say.
Easy prediction. Yep. I think this was a low ball. And I think, what's interesting to me is when you look at the search visibility that a platform like Reddit gets, and you compare it to Meta, or even just the traffic Reddit to Meta, right? Like they're getting a ton of traffic, and a lot of this is really high intent. So I think they will grow their ad revenue for many, many more years. I think year to year, they've been growing 60%, which is pretty incredible. Actually, sorry, it's Q1 to Q3. It's not even year over year. It's Q1 to Q3, 68%, which is incredible, right? So they're at this rocket trajectory, and the ad spend goes to show the most how they're a default channel mix member now. And what interests me the most actually is not even just the ad revenue and how it's kind of a core marketing channel right now. But what interests me the most is how, like 10, 15 years ago, there was this whole debate about social signals and SEO. And now all the SEOs basically have to figure out their strategy for Reddit. And so it's more than just a new marketing channel. It pulls the SEO industry out of pure search and more into social.
Yeah. But I really see like Reddit, I mean, like it's also the only one platform, right? Where everybody pulls this, this is like the best, like real user data we can get. And I really see this, like every customer now, we want to get on Reddit. We want to get on Reddit. We want to get on Reddit, right? And I see this with our friends Bartosz and Brand Sutoris, right? They're OG Media, who are helping a lot of brands getting onto Reddit these days, and they're booming because like everybody is like, we want Reddit. Do you think now with everybody basically running towards Reddit, wanting to do stuff there? I mean, like they have a very like good self-cleansing community, so you can't just go in like start spamming like stupidly. This just won't work. But nevertheless, a lot of brands are trying to get on there. And do you think this could also have an impact on Reddit as a whole? As do you think? I mean, like because now everybody who never thought about Reddit is now, let me do Reddit. Do you think there's a long-term threat here for Reddit?
100%. I think the threat is real, and it's probably the biggest threat to Reddit besides Google falling out of love with them. But as you said, like you already outlined the reality of what everybody's trying. And so one of my predictions for next year is that we'll see more social networks dividing their feeds between humans and AI. I think we're going to see a slop feed in more AI slop feed on more social networks. And part of the reason, or part of the validation of that prediction is that Reddit has just announced that they are verifying users. They're testing to verify users. But I think they have to move into that direction to separate users who are human from AI. And sure, humans can still use AI, but it's a different game. And that will hopefully help them with like strengthening their immune system against AI influence. But yeah, the reality is it's very easy to just, copy paste the Reddit thread into ChatGPT and ask it what would be a answer that's helpful here, and then copy paste it back over. It doesn't even work that bad, right? And so it kind of destroys the core value of Reddit a little bit, which is that it's humans responding. So it will be very interesting how Reddit handles that. But I do believe it's probably their biggest threat.
And the thing is, if it falls, where next? Where do they get that kind of information? As it's like sort of like you can't fail here because they're so reliant on that kind of information. Or is it also an opportunity for someone to just step in and say like, okay, I'm reckon that Reddit is just gonna implode, or as Dennis says, AI slop spam, the snake starts to eat its tail. Talking about next year, in 2 years, you can build something new up. That could be, I don't know, it's hard. But I think it's because it's one site, right, which is so detrimental to the success of a lot of these companies now, and everybody or marketers flocking in there, and again letting AI do the work.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to rebuild a Reddit or start something new that can step in. I think Wikipedia is the next logical conclusion, right? It's also interestingly user-generated content.
Grokpedia, I think we relate a lot of Grokpedia now, and the answers get cited. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not going to click on that. It's crazy. Yeah, it's really putting results from there now. But the whole AI slop also. I mean, like just the amount of energy this is what's being used on senseless trying to influence Reddit or I mean, like AI slop feed, also just for somebody who's so langweilig is boring, who's so bored that he even watches AI slop. I mean, like, how bored do you have to be? You know, that's like, really, I don't have anything else to do, just to watch some random AI shit and roast my brain, right? And just the amount of energy that has been made for the it's I don't know, I don't have no word.
It's mind-blowing, man. And at the same time, I think it will be successful. I think companies will figure out how to use AI to create content that is so interesting that you don't want to stop scrolling. And that's going to put us in front of a whole nother challenge, right? I often say that if you're scared about social media and the impact on young people and anybody really, wait until AI gets real traction. It's going to be
and finds out what you really like, and then they're like, okay, I'm not going to let you sleep anymore. You're just going to get the dopamine hits from me all day, all night.
All day, all night.
All right. What about more sites cloak for LLMs?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because I know a bunch of sites that are testing this right now. But I think I misjudged the timing here. I thought a lot more sites would do this because there's no guideline or law that says you cannot cloak for LLMs. So the tests are coming in now, and depending on how these go, let's see if more companies will do this next year, or if LLM companies say we don't allow cloaking, which brings its own challenge, because then how do they verify that? They would have to either hire humans or develop agents that can verify it. Maybe it's technologically possible, but I haven't seen a concept yet. So I think I was too early with timing here. Now the tests are coming in, and let's see how they turn out. So this was a miss.
With an LLM cloaking, also you would need to know there's a specific URL getting a lot of traffic, and I know, oh, I can monetize this a lot better. So this is why I'm slapping like a cloaking on there. So I think like the case is very hard for someone like to deliberately trying to use cloaking to I don't know, to get what out of it. I don't know. We don't have to get into it. What about the current Google Shopping tab will become the default?
Really? I thought they would, you know. Yeah, of course. Why not? I mean, they need to catch up in shopping, and they need to be aggressive, right? They're falling further behind. Now they got competition from ChatGPT. So they did a lot of more AI stuff on shopping, and I thought they would be maybe quick to bring it into the default tab on search, because that's what they did with the product grids. Product grids first rolled out on the shopping tab, then they came to the default search experience, but that hasn't happened yet with AI overviews. So let's see, man. I'm still bullish on this. I think this will happen. I think the shopping experience on Google generally becomes more transformed by AI, and I wonder if that like AI grid experience they have in a shopping tab wouldn't maybe next year become the default. So I'm still bullish on this for now.
Right on. AI generated audio and video hits mass adoption. Hell yeah.
Yes, I think that's a good one. I mean, good and bad one, right? This is basically what we spoke about. But if you look at like some of the stats here, 87% of creators use AI in their workflows. And it can also just like, you know, it doesn't mean that all of their footage is AI generated. Maybe they just use some AI tool to cut videos, or to, to generate a transcript, or maybe some light B-roll. So it depends very much, but I think this has very much become true. Even yesterday, the Wall Street Journal announced that the Washington Post announced that they're now testing AI podcasts to reach younger audiences. So this is definitely mass adoption. This is mainstream. And some of the AI podcasts are not even that bad. So I think this landed.
It's not even that bad. It's so sad. So I don't know. By the way, Dennis just took his black hat on and he said, oh, what would be interesting instead of cloaking is query fan out keyword plus brand injection. I mean, that'd be awesome, right? If you can like seriously influence the query fan out that's happening and basically like put your brand in there, that'd be nice. So if you have more details on how to do this, please share, Dennis.
Yeah. Please send an anonymous letter.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very creative. Google and Apple divorce.
Yeah. I think
Well,
this was
Google can
also like,
only make one deal anymore a year. I think that's what I read. The week.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this, I don't know, man. Like when I wrote it, I was like, yeah, this is pretty easy, right? Like this is probably going to happen because when I wrote it, we had that initial ruling by the
Mhm.
judge in that DOJ
Yeah.
case, and he said that yeah, Google is clearly a monopoly, and he had like a very clear stance, and then he fumbled. Then he didn't do anything about it. The ruling was, excuse my French, but very lame. Nothing really happened, and so
But,
Google
but but
can.
remember what happened? It was like with the OpenAI just kicking it off. All of a sudden, everybody was talking about AI as we talked about that ruling. And it really, if AI wouldn't have happened, this would be a totally different ballgame. They would still have had that monopoly. But at that time, they could like legitimately argue, oh, look at this. Look at this. OpenAI, 800 million users. Like, what the hell? We're not a monopoly. We're like being the underdog. Oh my God, please help us, judge. Okay.
Yeah,
Over
but
dramatic here, but essentially that's what happened, right? I mean, like from the output dynamics.
you see, okay, so two counter arguments. One is that it turns out that almost all the users that are using ChatGPT are also using Google, right? So
Yeah,
no threat to Google.
yeah.
Two, no decrease in performance, right? Like Google's earnings are still
Oh,
through the
you're
roof and
preaching
better
to
than
the
ever.
choir here. As you're
Yeah,
preaching to
yeah,
the
yeah,
choir,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know that, but
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
I'm
again,
just making
I
for the
can totally
audience. I'm just
understand
making
why that
the
happened, right? And still they have
yes.
good lawyers.
Yes, I think, and I think it was a mistake. So anyway, it didn't happen. Google still can make deals with Apple. They just cannot be exclusive anymore. So nothing will change.
Yeah, absolutely. And then last but not least, Apple or OpenAI announced smart glasses. This is actually really a run right now. Like a lot of companies like trying to build like sort of the same product. I mean, OpenAI, they want to build something completely different, something completely new. We don't know yet.
Yes.
But smart glasses are still part of the mix here, definitely. Yeah.
Oh man, huge.
Yeah.
I thought that like OpenAI would announce smart glasses. It's unclear, right? They're
Mhm.
talking around what it's going to be. So
Yeah.
I think that's why I cannot say this is a hit. Apple has not yet moved here. It seems like they have some internal leadership issues. So they might even take a little while, but they have to get in the game. They absolutely have to get in the game. That's their home turf. And then of
Mhm.
all companies, Google announced smart glasses.
Mhm.
So I think it was last week or something. Google officially confirmed that next year we're going to have Android-driven smart glasses in collaboration with Samsung and some other vendors. So logically, Google is stepping in here hard as they should, and that's why I score this one as a mix because it's not exactly what I predicted, but I don't think you could say that it was a wrong prediction.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we had these glass holes before, but yeah, I know. I think now it's better timing for Google. But again, I love how Meta and especially also especially Alex superior marketing skills really, yeah, like Meta really took it on, have a solid, great product, and now everybody's like also running to catch up to Meta
Oh
in
yeah.
this regard. So well done, Alex and team. All right, great predictions, great scoring. As I mean, it's all right. It's all right. So miss. So we talked about it last week. I mean, it was very smart doing this later because now we talked about it last week already. So I don't remember, like. But
Next year we're going to change it up
next
again.
year.
I think I thought about do you want to be early with your predictions before others put out their
Yeah,
predictions? But no,
yeah,
next year we're going to fall back in line.
right on. I'm also going to write my predictions today. Hey, OpenAI, please write a LinkedIn post about predictions for next year. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then you can comment if you want the full predictions.
Nice. All right. What else happened? Yeah, some interesting stuff happened, especially Google Search Console, because they're introducing social channels in Search Console. I didn't have that on my bingo card in 2025. And I'm like pleasantly surprised. We now find like stuff from Google, also from YouTube in here as well, or any other connected social media network. That's really a fantastic thing. I actually looked it up in all my accounts, but I haven't. I don't see it live yet. Do you already see it somewhere?
No, I have the other thing, but I don't have this one yet.
Okay.
I think that it has potential, right? Like
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
one
absolutely.
hand, everybody's like, stop what you're doing, give us the AI overview breakout.
Yeah,
data,
of course.
right?
There's always like the, oh, no, you don't want that. I give you this. I give you
Yeah,
this. This is like with Donald Trump. I'm not releasing the Epstein list, but I'm releasing like everything to Alina Earhart or the, you know, like the, it's like, okay, that's what we've been waiting for, right? And this is the same thing. Everybody wants something, and they're like, oh, now we're gonna give you this shiny new thing.
It's so clear. It is so clear. And they know that, right? It's like, oh, you want that? But what about this? What about this other thing that you really don't want? Anyway, I will say this one has potential because, you know, so many companies that I talk to, they understand that YouTube is important, but they have a hard time making a business case. And now you can actually see how YouTube reflects on your search performance, and that makes it easier to make business cases. So that I think is really, really interesting. I don't have it live either yet. I can't wait for the data. I want to see what it looks like and if you can export it, etc. But that actually is a helpful addition.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As I'm super stoked. Nevertheless, I like the shiny thing, but I still know what I want. And we get more later. Yeah, we get weekly and monthly views. So a time granularity selector, a new granularity selector allows users to view the data aggregated by weeks and months. Awesome stuff. This is exactly what. No, I wanted something else. But that's also good.
Economic annotations, Marcus, which, by the way, Wright did many, many years ago. So I don't want to be, a negative Nancy here. It's cool that they did this, and to me, this comes out of the drawer of things that we should have done a long time ago. So cool that you're doing it now. Next, give us the stuff we really want. Do more.
Okay. I don't know if this is the stuff you really want, but I want to talk to you about it because Tom is asking, did we pass peak AIO? You were actually the guy that coined peak traffic. That was you, right?
Yeah, it was me.
That was you. Yeah, that was you. So you coined peak traffic. Now Tom is coming out of the woods and saying, and it really looks like he's coming out of the woods. Yeah, it's like very dynamic. Did we pass peak AIO? So before I scroll down, what do you think?
I say no. So look, here's what I'm seeing, okay? I recently did an analysis of 3 of the largest sites on the web, Reddit, Wikipedia, and YouTube. And I saw that about 50% of their keywords show AI overviews. So I think when you look at the aggregate, if you're a tool vendor and you look at the aggregate, you might land at something like 15%. But I think the real use case for the largest sites of the web is that the number is much, much higher. Where I will agree, though, is that the number has stagnated for now. And so what we're seeing is that we're not seeing this linear growth of AI overviews where Google slowly rolls them out more and more. Instead, we saw a large jump in March and then a slower increase, and we're almost flat now. And so I wonder with Gemini 3, with the technology getting so much better, if we'll see another step change. That's actually one of my predictions for next year. I think we'll go from 50 to 75%. And we're going to see more AI overviews. So yeah, here's the 15% that Moz calls out from their data. But I think when you look at your specific website, you probably want to do this analysis for yourself and see how many keywords show AI overviews.
Okay, no peak IO. No peak AIO. Okay, it's even getting more interesting. Here also have something really interesting for us. So this guy, Mohamed Reza, he analyzed 6,000 plus SEO job postings, and here what's actually changed. Super interesting. Cool. So first of all, he says the geo question is settled. Wait, 1 second. Yeah. Turns out geo won. It appears in 223 job descriptions, significantly ahead of AEO. JGP is as a specific skill, also very interesting, shown up in quite a lot of postings. And LLM knowledge mentioned 210. It also looks a little bit. Thank you. Look a little bit like a lot of people don't know what to actually put into their job requirements and to their job ad, right? So LLM knowledge, you could do ChatGPT. So I think this is what clearly shows, but I think we can clearly say also geo seems to be the most prevalent term when it comes to people describing what we're talking about, right?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially as in, there is no SEO here, right? As I would have loved to see.
I think
Like
it's the
how
middle. I think it's the middle. Check again. Oh no,
no,
sorry, it was AO. My bad.
yeah,
I thought I saw it. No,
basically
there's no
just
SEO.
looking for these emerging SEO terms, but I would like the comparison to SEO. Also, is there a job ad who just focus and you just need to go geo, but doesn't focus on SEO anymore? But I think that's not happening. What's also interesting is, sorry about this. Google Analytics still appears in over 1,100 job descriptions. And what I love the most, the next biggest thing is SEMrush. Also, I love it. Also Google Analytics, SEMrush, Search Console, content strategy, right? Also a little bit weird mix, but nevertheless, Google Analytics still up on top. I mean, like, I can't do shit in Google Analytics ever since GA4. So I think I'm not getting a traditional job anymore. That's
sorry, Marcus.
Yeah,
sorry.
dude. I mean, at least SEMrush. I mean, like, I can say, hey, I've proficiency here. And obviously in Search Console, but I'm really missing out Google Analytics. But that's interesting, right? Also because we're talking about SEO job postings, right?
Yeah.
And SEO job posting, where a lot of the postings say, hey, you should know Google Analytics. Do you think, for me, I was like, really? Is this really the most like what SEOs should be proficient about? I don't know.
It's like table stakes for me, right? Like, of course, you need to know. I mean, you need to know web analytics, right? I think you need to understand the tools. You need to know how to pull traffic data. And if you use an MCP or Google Analytics directly or Matomo or whatever you use, doesn't matter much, right? As long as you can get the data and you can analyze it and know what to look at. But it's like at the top, I don't even know if, like, I would not even call, again, this is like basic skill for me. This is not a something you should have on top of the basics, right? So, but this is a term analysis, and I can see this making sense for sure.
All right. So you're so proficient in GA4, you could do everything. If I ask you now, hey, give me for the last 6 months, tell me what is the average? No.
Hey, ChatGPT, that's my answer,
Well,
man.
you said
That's my
it's table stakes for you. So it's
no. Look, like navigating the user interface.
Ooh.
And actually,
I can call it up and click around. Oh yeah, I'm good at that.
The good thing is that we have ChatGPT for that, right? So ChatGPT can just walk me through however I find it.
Yeah.
But I get the basic stuff that I need. Google Tag Manager, I'm okay at, but of course I'll use AI to help me out. Sure.
Dennis as well. I use OpenAI browser agent mode to analyze GA4. That's actually a good thing. Although I don't really like to use these OpenAI browsers. Yeah, that's just me. By the way, regarding the Geo self-fulfilling prophecy job description is written in AI. Geo mentioned LLM or more job requirements. I mentioned Geo. Again, Snake eats itself. I think that's a good point. Okay, now we learned the US is playing a different game. Hell yes, they are. We know that. Welcome to Germany, and welcome back to Germany, by the way. Yeah, global adoption of these AI-related requirements. This is really funny. Also, especially in the US. And what I love the most that actually Germany comes up next, right?
Yes.
The US, although like only half, right? But also I really like the strong game here by Germany, but nevertheless, US again far in front of us, definitely.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like almost like every fourth job posting mentions AI or GEO. That's amazing, right? I mean, like, obviously we're talking about SEO jobs, right? We're not talking about like general kind of jobs, but nevertheless, that's a quarter of these jobs. Even would you now say, hey, out of so many job ads in Germany, like these kind of things mentioned only in 11% of the, is this is this even, is this high enough? I mean, like, I could imagine, like, why don't more companies look for this in Germany? Why do you think that is? Is this like really time delay here?
I think honestly, man, German companies are more skeptical. I think Germans in general, and I don't mean that
Are
in a
we?
judging.
Are we more skeptical? Are you sure about that?
Proof and points. Case closed, Your Honor. But look, like and I don't mean that in a judging way. I think that can also be an incredible strength of Germans and maybe Europeans in general. But I vividly remember I gave an AI talk. I think it was 2 years ago in the US, and shortly after I gave the same AI talk in Germany, just translated. And in the US, the questions were like, okay, cool. How can we do this? Like, what's the next step? In Germany was all about, but what about the legal implications and what's the, what the guidelines and stuff. So it's like, it's completely different culture. And I think that reflects in the data.
Oh, thanks for that story. That's a very good story. Like how people, pick that up. Interesting. By the way, Roy also, he uses Perplexity, but I'm very hesitant. Hackable stuff with some smart prompts. And Dennis chiming in, Agent Mode with Atlas lets you do the GA4 analysis, no need to know GA4 interface. That's actually good. But
Dennis is one of the 100 million agent users that I'm waiting for. So yeah, follow Dennis's example.
You should. Smart cookie, this guy. It's a leadership problem, not an execution task. So most of the thing is in leadership. This is where people want people to be proficient about that kind of stuff, not with junior roles. I think it has to be the junior role to actually really still getting a job, but okay, maybe that's just me. What do we have? Technical escalation. Oh, here, interesting finding. Jobs requiring AI GEO skills are twice as likely to also require coding skills. That's interesting, right?
It's fascinating.
More pushed into a technical kind of role. Here we learn about it's more like a leadership thing. Here it's more like a technical kind of role.
Yeah, and I think it very much pairs with my observation of my predictions that workflow automation is I would say a default or a standard now for many marketing teams, right? So SEOs, I think, traditionally have been the most technical marketers, and we're now building some of our own internal tooling with AI. So it makes sense for me that coding is part of it. Now, obviously, you don't want to expect SEOs to be fully fledged developers, but some basic coding skills enabled by AI makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I'm also such a big proponent of that kind of stuff. I mean, like, also back in the days, it helped me so much being able to, code my own stuff, although it wasn't very good, like always going back and forth code, Stack Overflow, copy and pasting stuff, trying things out. But this is also good because you didn't need anyone. I guess I could still build my own stuff. Also, I think this is really like an area where SEOs is traditionally very strong at. Yeah. The tool stack is evolving. Bam, SEMrush. Yes, I love it. Sorry for being very proud of my employer. But yeah, that always makes me very proud seeing that. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's move to my next up. We have 12 more minutes. Oh, this is fun. So Malte did Malte is so creative, and he has a very creative a test here. So what he did, he asked LLMs to toss a coin almost 3,000 times. And this is crazy. I would have never thought about doing that kind of thing, but it's so crazy, especially if you look at the result. So in 58% of the cases, heads comes out. Tails is only 6%. No results, 32%. And it's what? And 1/3 is just like, I don't know, I don't want to play that game. But as if you ever, do like heads or tails and it's decided by an LLM, I think it's a safe bet to go for heads. And he also explains why it has this bias, yeah, this makes sense if you think about how the terms heads and tails appear in documents and how LLMs work. But it's also so funny that, like throughout the LLMs, they all struggle with this, I think, like very simple problem. Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, they didn't want to, they really flat out refused to pick a side. No, I'm not going to do this. It's so crazy. and also how he asked it obviously also has an impact. But I think this is one of the most interesting experiments I've read in a long time, because it's like really something I didn't think about, that LLMs would really struggle so much with that kind of simple task, right?
I mean, they often, you remember the strawberry example? And today I just saw another test where somebody asked ChatGPT 5.2 how many R's are in, I don't know, some word, carbs or whatever. I don't remember the exact word, and it got it wrong. So, there is this paradox for LLMs that some of the most simple tasks they just cannot do because it's all like probabilistic reasoning. But then for other tasks, they're amazing at scale. And so I'm very curious how LLM developers and scientists are going to solve that. But to a point, Malta's experiment is super creative. I love this.
Yeah. By the way, Dennis is asking, is that because heads come before tails? This is also what I thought, right? And it's also a lot more heads, a lot more mentions of heads in comparison to tails, I would think, right?
Yes, exactly. I don't think it has anything to do with the alphabet. It's just that the word head or heads is much more commonly used than tails. And you can probably do the counter, like the test, because there's the Google Ngram viewer, which basically looks at Ngrams. And I can just do the very quick test here. Let's see. Oh my God. Heads and tails. See if I can do this quickly. Yeah. I don't know if I can probably, let me see if I can. No, I cannot share the link. Shoot. But yeah, anyway, if you go to Google Ngram,
we believe you.
Yeah, you see that heads has a lot more mentions across books than the word tails, and that's the solution.
Okay. No, that's the solution. All right, 9 more minutes. I have two fun stories. So Instagram is generating inaccurate SEO bait for your posts. This is funny. So Instagram is generating headlines for Instagram posts that appear on Google search results. Users that they are misrepresenting them. That's so funny. So they really come into the SEO game again. Made it basically rewriting some of the titles to make them rank better in Google. And yeah, people are a little bit outraged by this. And it's so funny. I would not write mediocre text like that, and it sounds as if it was auto-generated at scale with an LLM, right? And this is really the thing. Also, I mean, like, obviously, I can understand the play. I mean, like, Instagram is also a very reputable website, obviously, and people don't always have like SEO metrics in mind, when they're like, putting a title on their Instagram post. Obviously, where would they? And actually, Facebook sees it as an opportunity. And I mean, like, the whole Meta organization has always been very strong in the SEO game. So I sort of applaud, but I don't know. It kind of, I don't know, like, missed the point a little, I guess, because you're really going over people's heads here, or how do you see this?
Yeah, I think it's a scale issue to your point, right? They have billions of posts and reels and whatnot. And so, yes, they probably forgot some guardrails. And I don't want to, excuse it, but I also don't want to overweigh it. This is just a scale issue. Correct it, move on. People like bait for your post. I think it's a bit overvalued, man. Like, if people catch that the headlines are baity, then does it really work? So I don't know. I don't see
this headline is baity, and it can't work for me. So and work for all of you because we're just talking about it. So,
that's a different problem, Marcus. That's a different problem.
I think it was even Dennis who saw it first. I think Dennis, you get the credit for this in our G50 group. I think it was him. Okay, let me try this one. Scammers are poisoning AI search results. Why wouldn't they? To steer you straight into their traps. Here is how. So what they're doing, actually, it's being tricked into suggesting scam support numbers. So we talked about this. We've heard that we only need, I think, 250 documents, which are poisoned to actually poison the whole well, which is not a lot, especially in the age of AI. And obviously, it makes a lot of sense, if you want to scam someone, and especially when you have a couple of brands, obviously, where a lot of people search for support. And they go to Google, ask for the support number, or now they go to LLMs, ask for the support number, and they're actually poisoning the well and adding fake support numbers to have people, call a different number and basically, oh yeah, here's your meta support. Can you give me your password? Awesome. Oh, let me do that for you. I'm going to call you back. Right. I don't know if that's how it works. Right. I'm not the scammer here in charge, but that is crazy. I mean, like very creative and also very easy. Right. It's very, very easy. And yeah, also it seems to work. Here, for example, when Perplexity was queried with the official Emirates Airlines reservation number, AI returned a fully fabricated answer that included a fraudulent call center scam number. Yeah,
Wow.
holy shit! And the other one for British Airways, they probably do a lot with Airways. Yeah,
man, painful. So there's a future business model, Marcus. If the whole thing doesn't work out with AI, then just poison tokens.
Poison the well. Check your own number in AI. Okay. Oh, I can't.
Do you want to click that link? I'm not so
sure.
I
can't actually. I can't click on it. No, I'm not going to put it in. Damn it, you sneaky bastard. Okay, last up. Let's talk about the last thing here. This is huge. This is huge. Because Google Research, they have announced something new. The Titans architecture and the Miras framework, which allow AI models to work much faster and handle massive context by updating their core memory while it's actively running. This is super interesting. I mean, it's super complex, but basically how I understand it is that basically the problem with the current AI is that most AI uses transformers. Obviously, this is what Google, has come up with. It's super, super great. Basically always looks back at the previous words, using attention. We all know how it works. But these models become very slow and expensive, obviously, when the text gets longer. And there's other models. I think the one is RNN, these recurrent neural networks, this down here, or these state space models. Yeah. And they're faster because they basically like squash the past. Yeah. So everything about the past into a fixed sized memory. Yeah, but obviously, they missed important details, when it gets like extremely long. So there has not been a middle ground yet, and this is, I think, exactly what Titan is, because it basically tries to mix the best of both worlds. Basically, the speed of the RNN style models, basically how that works, with the accuracy of a transformer. And I think the missing link basically is so creative because Titan, as I understand it, decides what to remember using a surprise metric. Yeah, also basically it encounters something which doesn't match what it was expecting. Like the boring, the predictable stuff, I don't need to remember that because it's boring, it's predictable. But if I encounter something not predictable, this is exactly what I want to remember, and this is basically how it works. Again, please don't kill me if I explained it the wrong way. I read it 3 times, and this is what I came up with. And obviously it's more complex, but I think this is super fascinating, and the underlying idea again is genius, as is very interesting. So this could have a major impact. Obviously, just think about the LLMs with a much better brain, because there's like a real neural network behind it, not like really just like a fit memory. You fit something in like a whole neural network. So obviously, this could be a huge game changer. Or what do you think? Oh, I think he froze. Okay, I think he's froze. I thought like he doesn't want to talk to me anymore because it was like so bad in summarizing this. I could have also asked the LLM about it. Sorry about this, but he just froze. Okay, the message from Dennis is I like look at that Kevin like this. It's like, hello, Kevin. Yeah. Okay. The message from Will was, I checked 6 AI models to see if my company's phone number was accurate, and 3 out of 4 numbers were made up. This has big implications for banking. And I think this is exactly what the people saw. It's like with banking, with like these airlines, and let's use this. Okay, now he's gone. We have 1 more minute, so I don't think he's coming back. So thanks so much for everybody staying longer than Kevin. No, I don't think it will work out.
Man,
here you are.
sorry, internet is already on the weekends.
That was funny. Okay, give me your gist in 30 seconds about it.
So what excites me most about this is that, of course, this, for us, the main implication is personalization, right? With a much, much longer memory, it's so much easier for LLMs to remember, like stuff about us. So,
and he's gone again.
Personalization next year or the year after could be through the roof with such technology.
All right. We'll take, it was a little bit broken off, but we'll take this as the final word. It's okay. By the way, it's so funny from Roy here. Nice if your agents call those numbers. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be so fun. I don't know. And then they call these scam numbers, and basically you give them a task. Can you please book a flight on British Airways for me? Then they call a scam number, getting scammed, and I'm paying for that. No, it's the agent, right? It's not me. And what happens if the agent is getting scammed by an answer given by its own very system? What? I mean, as a German, I got to say again, like the legal implications. In America would be probably like, oh, land of opportunities. So I think, I think I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks so much, Kevin, for doing this again. And next
thank you too.
Our last show for this year. So tune in, like Roy did, like Dennis did, like everybody else did. Tune in next week, next Friday, for our last show for this year. We're going to wrap up the last year. Don't worry, we're not going to wrap. We're just going to wrap up the last year. Yeah, sorry for the bad joke. And we're going to be here next Friday at 4, and hopefully you are here as well. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everybody else. Have a nice weekend. We 3:02. We temporarily redirect you now from work to the weekend. Happy optimizing, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, Marcus. Great job.